of 2022. This is our GA meeting of EDR, and thank you for being here. Before we get started with the meeting, I would like to say that as I go through the agenda, I will ask for a motion and a second on the agenda items regarding a vote. I will then allow questions only as it relates to the current agenda item under consideration using the microphone, which will be at the right side of the stage. Persons using the microphone must first state their first and last name and their block numbers. Then I will call for a vote. The vote will be pending a show of hands or ballots. When the meeting is adjourned, I will open the floor for questions. All questions will be made using the microphone in the center of the floor. In order to be fair and provide an opportunity for most people present to access the microphone, the speaker will be limited to either one statement or one question with an option for one follow-up question. If the same speaker wishes another turn at the microphone, they must go to the end of the line. Installment of the assembly. In accordance with Article 49 of the Rules and Regulations, the required notice was mailed to all associates belonging to the condominium regiment in El Dorado branch of EDR Group. In accordance with the Article 49 Faction Act, I will preside the assembly in representation of the administrator, and I designate Mrs. Sabina Valverde as the secretary for the assembly. She is in the registry right now. Well, yeah. Okay. I don't do any videos. Okay. I will speak Spanish. Okay. Quorum. 10 a.m. At first call, we have reached a quorum. We will wait for the second call in 15 minutes. For using this time, we invited Etienne Camas to attend the meeting to explain about First Alert, which is an interesting service that the company he represents are providing for the community of Central India. It will not take more of our time because we have to wait this time anyway. So Etienne is going to speak about First Alert. And we have the 15 minutes to go to call for the second call of the meeting for quorum. Etienne, well, he's getting ready.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Etienne Camas. It's too high. Okay, it's too high. Now it's much better the sound I can, I'm like here. Hi, my name is Etienne Camas and I represent Baja First Alert. We are a personal emergency response company through a smart device, and I'm going to talk to you very fast about this service. But first of all, I would like to start with a question. Do you know what to do in case of an emergency? Emergency can happen anytime, any hour, any moment. And when those happen, and when that emergency happens, every second matters. And that's why Baja First Alert step up. We are a personal emergency response company, 24/7, since 2018. And we provide a smart device where you can use in case of an emergency, and I'm going to explain it. According to the National Institute of Aging, falls are the leading cause of death from injuries from those 60 and older, and it can be everybody. 90% of the hip fractures are caused by fall. Our service is to help our clients, people, in case of a health emergency, in case of security need, or if something bigger like a fire, car accident, and we have a plus in our service. But first of all, let me explain you a little bit how our brain works. Our brain is like a computer that we program to do stuff, activities, and in case of an emergency, it's the same. We know we have the smart phones that we use for everything, social media, to call and take pictures and video, but in case of an emergency, our brain, we're gonna try to get communication with somebody to get the right help. Could be your neighbor, your friend, the person who lives with you, if it's not in the moment right there. But in emergency, you want to get your phone, unlock it, find the right contact, find the right number, dial it, explain to the person if the person attempts the call, and all of that, it's loss of time. With Baja First Alert, we want to reduce the time, and through a smart device with a SOS button where you only need to just press it. One of our callers are going to attend your call, your emergency, and send the right help. Our service is in all, you can use it in all Mexico, and now we have present in all the north of Baja California Baja North, from Tijuana, Rosarito, Ensenada, and San Felipe. We have present there. We have clients who have been testing our devices in Los Cabos, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta. Other clients have been testing the device in Chiapas, in south of Mexico, when they travel in cruise or just they go to Midland. So our devices can work in all Mexico. We're working to have it as well in the States. When you go to the States just for shop, for a medical appointment, you can use it as well. How is the process to get our service? First, you have to choose the membership that suits better for you. And we have from annual, monthly, and now our recently membership, it's a group membership where we provide and give a better and good deal. You choose your device. Right now we manage two types of devices, the pendant and the watch. And both have several characteristics. The pendant is a device which can sense a fall because it has sensors. The watch doesn't, but you can see the time in your watch. And also check your blood pressure and heart rate. Both devices have GPS, a location, and also a SOS button. But both of them you can modify according to your lifestyle. Both devices doesn't have an extra cost if you choose a watch or a pendant. You can choose the one who suits better for you. And our memberships go from annually for people who wants to save more money, $24.95 a month. We gave a 10% of discount in our one-time fee activation. Monthly, that is deductible from your debit or credit card, $34.95. That is deductible every month. And the group of 5 people or more who sign up, can be group or more than 5. It's $200 per year with 10% of discount in the fee of activation, only one time. And then you can save more money and do a less investment and get our service. How it works. You only have to choose your device, and in case of an emergency, you can press the button, hold it, release it, your device is gonna tell you, and you're gonna, one of our callers is gonna pick the call, evaluate the situation, if it can be managed in the moment, if somebody's with you, tell them what to do, or send you the right help in the moment. Also, we have a new collaboration with Baja Sunrise Insurance, where our clients who have our service, in case of an emergency or a claim, they can start doing through their devices, instead going through, find the policy, the number, something, they can start doing through the device, and we can start right away to help you with your claim. If there is any question about our service, or if you would like to more information, will be outside. And before finishing, I would like to just show you how it works with our devices. Right here, I have the pendant, which has the SOS. Right here, right now, we make sure that the device is being activated. Not like the first time for those who was here. and let's do it. You have to push the button, hold it, and this new device is going to tell you that the alert has been activated. Because in the past, with the previous models, we have a lot of false alert. Now, you can just cancel it by yourself, or if you wish, you can just leave it and let us help you with that. I'm going to show you. I already pressed it.
Your alarm has been activated. Click the SOS to stop.
You can cancel it
Your
if
alarm
it's
has
a
been
false
activated.
alert,
Click the SOS.
activate it accidentally.
Your alarm has been activated. Click the SOS to stop. Calling contact number 1.
Go.
This alert was your emergency.
Thank you. There is no emergency. I'm just testing the device. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. That's with our pendant, just doing the test. And now I'm going to go right away with our watch that I was wearing right here and just push the button. There we go. You can see it in the screen. This one doesn't. Sorry, now this one the watch. Sorry for that. That's how we work our service. If you have more questions, please, we'll be outside to answer your doubt. Thank you very much. Thank you for the space and the time. Thank you.
Okay, the 15 minutes have passed, so I will ask our secretary to see the numbers of the counting of the first quorum. She's preparing that. Let's wait a minute, please.
Excuse me, I would like to address the meeting while we're waiting. It won't take more than a few minutes. My name is Terry Grab. I think you're Senor Isas, no?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we've been in touch. I don't know how many people here have followed
Excuse me,
the drug.
excuse
Oh,
me.
thank you so
This
much.
is not allowed at this moment. You will have your time to present.
Well, there's
at the
nothing on
end.
there's nothing on the agenda
I know,
that asks
it
for
is not, so we
comments.
will have only the
Is this-
agenda treated right now.
This will take 2 minutes. Is that
At the end of the
not allowed?
meeting, you can present. It's a
You
process.
know what? I'm going to go ahead now. If you want to physically
sorry.
throw me out, you can do that.
Sorry, I cannot do that.
I will sit down, but it's...
Get up, please.
Okay, well, I really beg you all to let me at least...
Sorry, I ask you to please sit down. I'm not doing that.
You will listen after. It's important, I think, for us. And it's important for all of us.
Thank you for respecting the procedures of the meeting. Thank you very much. Salinas is still counting. This is because we didn't have many registers. Many people registered today, so it is taking more time to count it. But she will be finishing soon. Okay, the first numbers are owners, present 82, proxy 2, absentee ballots 21, developer 20,120. We have 36.53% of the required number to make a quorum, so we will wait for a second call, which will be in another 15 minutes. And the importance of that we included this year the absentee ballots is to provide the opportunity for all the residents who are not here at the moment. And sometimes they forget about the proxies, or they don't have somebody here to represent them. And like the rules and regs requires that only one person can carry only 2 proxies. It's a limitation. So working with the supervisors, in Las Villas, Ventana, and EDR, we agreed to present the absentee ballots because as a precedent that the government of Mexico already accepted it from voting from Mexicans out of Mexico to vote for elections. So that sets the precedent that we can allow into our meetings. So I make the second call to see the quorum. I will take in count the minutes that we were late, so this will be short.
Me atravieso.
Okay. Serena, do we have more numbers for second call? No? Okay. At second call, we haven't reached a quorum. The numbers are the same for owners 82, proxy 2, absentee ballots 21, and developer 3,120 for a total of 3,225. We will have to make the third call, but if there's no more registrations, I don't see to make you wait another 15 minutes for the same numbers. If you agree, we'll go on. Okay. On the third quorum, we have reached a quorum with the same numbers: 82 owners, proxy 2, absentee ballot 21, and developer 3,220 to a total of 3,225. At this time, I will ask for 2 clerks from the audience. The only requirement is that the clerk be an owner who resides at the ranch in order to be able to sign the necessary paperwork after the meetings. I would like to ask for 2 volunteers. Please raise your hands. We only need 2 persons. This is something that we have to do. Okay? The guy over there, please take his name, please, and the lady in the back, so we can register you properly. Thank you very much for your participation. The next item on the agenda is to approve the November 2021 Ordinary Assembly Meetings minutes, as recorded in Mexicali and posted in the HOA website at www.eldoradoranchhoa.com.mx. For those who have read it, or the ones that haven't read it, it's there for you to read. I will ask, is there a motion to approve the minutes? Second? Thank you. I will do this by raise of hands. Those in favor, please raise your hands. Those not in favor, raise your hands. Okay, the motion carry on. I would like to introduce your current supervisors committee: Dick Peterson, President, Ed Jones, and Philip Van Resburg. I want to thank them for their enthusiastic participation and support in the supervisory committee. They have been working all year long very hard and participating in all the meetings that are needed to keep the HOA going. It's a hard work and it's a volunteer work, so thank you for the 3 of you. Mr. Dick Peterson, thank you. Mr. Dick Peterson will now present the supervisory committee report.
Thank you, Roberto. Last year, at the beginning of my presentation, I took a lot of time addressing who your management team is. I'm going to make it a little bit briefer this time, but I want you to know who is the head of the HOA as the administrator. I get comments repeatedly saying, who's that guy that's up in the front of the desk? Who's the guy that's talking all the time? Well, Roberto is the administrator that is appointed by the management team that your HOA employs. Jesus Olmos is the head of the management team, and he has appointed Roberto. Roberto is not an employee of your HOA. He is an employee of the management company that your HOA works with. Ricardo Perez, who is me something to do when you took off. Ricardo is the operations manager. He is in charge with security, maintenance, roads, pools, all of the physical plant that is here on the ranch. Eduardo Garcia, Lalo, he is our head accountant, working with Alex, number 2, and they are charged with juggling your checkbook. Ricardo Montano, who he isn't here, I guess, he is the head of the Technical Review Committee, and that committee is charged with plan review, CC&R, and rules and regulations guidelines, and I'll get into that a little later, as well as violations. Now, your supervisors, as Roberto mentioned, Ed Jones, Philip back there, people still say, oh, you guys don't do anything, you're just a rubber stamp. Well, I'm here to tell you that we're not a rubber stamp. The 3 of us drive around the ranch, observing possible issues. We meet at least once a week, discussing ranch issues and coming up with possible solutions. We come up with a punch list that we in turn give to Roberto and Ricardo, and we meet with them. This is in addition to our regular monthly supervisors meeting. We meet with them at least once a month, or as the case may be, if a specific issue comes up, more often. So we are an integral part of the budget and budget planning, and our suggestions are usually implemented, sometimes to the chagrin of Lalo, but we have a good working relationship with the administration, as well as mutual respect. Oh, one more thing about supervisors. To quell any rumors, we do not get preferential treatment on getting our roads graded first. And I get comments once in a while, oh yeah, we know you guys spend a lot of time, so you don't pay dues. Wrong. We pay the same dues that you do. Just to let you know.
And rightly so.
Sorry?
And rightly so.
That's right. And rightly so. Security has always been a topic and concern for everybody. This past spring, Joaquin, the head of security, and Ricardo gave all your supervisors a presentation. Ricardo produced a training manual, which really surprised us that they have taken it to that step in how well organized the security department is. The manual covers procedures for handling different situations the guards may encounter. It takes about 2 weeks for a guard, be it on a gate or any other job that they're assigned to become standalone, to work on their own. The security organization is in 4 different groups. There are 20 guards in each, with 1 supervisor and 1 assistant in each one of the groups. Each shift is 12 hours. There's also 2 administrative personnel, and they are charged with the infrared system around the ranch. And it takes over a week just to check each one, make sure the batteries are good and everything else, even though there is a alert in the security office. They still go around and manually check each one of them on a regular basis. We were pleasantly surprised at the thoroughness of the training of employees. In fact, when they get off the bus, with their shift starting, they even go through a screening before their shift starts. So it's quite a surprising thing that they're doing with the guards and the staff. Falsifying documents, visitor passes, card stickers, wastes a great deal of everybody's time. From security that Ed and Philip and I get involved in many times. And there's still those fellow owners that continue to abuse the system. Recently, there was one sticker we found that somebody had taken a photo of the windows and reduced it, cut it out, pasted it on somebody else's car.
It's always something else.
And so there's always somebody that's trying to do something with the system. When we learn of false documents usage and confront the owner, we usually hear things, oh, it's only one person, and I really like him. But the problem is that these violators take up space that you, paying residents, cannot use. For example, in a yoga class, or the water aerobics, I should say, it's limited to so many people. So if somebody's given somebody an illegal pass back and forth, and now a paying resident can't use that water aerobics. But it's only one person, and I like her. I mean, so, I don't know. Think about that in the pool in the summertime, when you go there and you can't use the Chase Lounge. Because somebody has given a pass to a worker that was working on their house, or even fuel attendant at the Arco gas station. We have found that to be happening. The TRC, or Technical Review Committee, is, as I mentioned, head by Ricardo Montano. The committee consists of volunteer residents. It's not, once again, not a paid position other than Ricardo. They're charged with reviewing new building plans and other permitting needs, following the CC&Rs and the rules and regulations. Letters of violation are also sent out from his department. There's a 3-letter process that a violator would get. The second letter requests that the violator show up at a TRC meeting where they can talk to the board about what their issues are. And if an agreement cannot be met, the owner has the right to appeal the decision that the TRC committee has made. This is covered by the CC&Rs in the HOA guidelines. They can appeal this decision within 10 days. At that time, a meeting is set up with your supervisors as well as the owner. So we review what Ricardo Montano and the committee has done in the violation, and review what the violation is, how severe, and we also go through what their suggestions for remedying the violation. Then Montano leaves the room. The owner comes in, pleads his case. It's called Title 81, and it's something that has been very seldom used, most of the time because people don't know about it. When the owner comes in, he pleads his case. We look at different solutions, what Montano and the committee wants, what the owner wants, and the bottom line is your 3 supervisors make the ultimate decision. We can override PRC, we can override the owner, we can come up with an alternate solution that the owner would agree to. So there is a recourse process with violations. A lot of people complain about the TRC committee and all the rules and regulations and everything else. There is a reason why they are in place. Some of it is aesthetics, some of it is structural. Non-paying owners of ranch property, as you probably know, is always a problem. Your supervisors are working with your HOA administration, trying to separate the different reasons that people are delinquent. You know, did somebody buy a property of an electric, not electric lot, and they're not paying because they don't have electricity? Are they deceased and there's nobody following through? The mail gets sent out, the mail comes back. There were dozens of mailings that went out for this meeting and talking about the budget. They came back to us. No current address. We're cross-referencing those as much as we can. But if people don't keep their addresses up to date, we can't locate them. We're also working on a plan with the developer. He is working with the city, which Pat had mentioned yesterday. And a letter is going out where the people that own these properties that are delinquent, they can turn the property back to the HOA, or not to the HOA, to the developer. If in the distant future somebody comes up and says, oh, my dad owned this property and we didn't know about it, and everything else, the developer can work out an arrangement where the person that wants the property can pay back fees and get a comparable lot. We're also working on a plan for those who rent long-term. Now I'm talking about a year. Possibly to require a payment of the HOA fees for the whole year up front. And I know there's some problems with the guidelines that we have and the rules and regulations, but some of these owners of the property are delinquent. The people have signed a lease in good faith, but now they're getting, can't say hassled because the guards are doing their job, but the owner of the property hasn't paid their dues. The person that owns, that's renting the property in good faith, now they're being restricted. They can't get visitor passes. They're getting a weekly pass coming in the gate and everything else. So a lot of some of you people pay your dues on a monthly basis. Well, you can go to your bank and stop payment. And that's what's happening in some of the instances. So how can we overcome this problem and still be able to help out those renters? We feel that we still have a responsibility to not only the owners, but the renters, and they being able to use the property. Currently, the inflation rate in Mexico is tracking close to 9%. This is the highest inflation rate since 2000. Your HOA budget has scheduled an 8% wage increase for the employees. Recently, well, out in the area, I was taking roads off the Toyon entrance for a resident and taking pictures, and a woman pulls up in her car and says, what are you doing? I said, I'm taking pictures to get the road repaired and get the information to Ricardo. And she says, well, why isn't that gate open? Why isn't the Toyon gate open? I said, well, because we don't have enough staff. She said, well, I know why. It's because you don't pay enough. Well, I looked at her and said, okay, but do you realize that your dues is what's paying for their salary? You know, if we don't have the dues, we don't pay, you can't pay the salary. With that said, our HR department went out throughout San Felipe and just tried to see where we stood in the relationship to other wages. And not waiting to the budget, they immediately, I think in September, put through a sizable base wage increase for all new hires and even raised those who are at the base. It resulted in September and October of 10 new hires. With the 10 new hires, within a month, 6 were gone, net of 4. And what we have found is that your HOA pays Social Security, IMSS, medical, income tax, all the taxes. But there are employers in town and workers that all they're concerned with is the raw wage, not all the benefits. And so if we take all the benefits and add them up, which I maybe should have done an Lalo about it, you know, the wage is substantial when you look at all the benefits that is added to the raw wage. your budget calls for 127 employees. If you look at the financials, you'll see each department with the number of employees on there. And yeah, when you figure out, not only that's just on the mountainside, but you got La Ventana, Las Vegas, and the developers, workers. We're the largest employer in San Felipe. There are many, like I said, there's many employers that don't pay those raw wages. For being the largest employer, we're almost like a little city. Currently, there are 12 security vehicles. This includes the pickup trucks, the buses, and everything. There's 17 maintenance vehicles, 4 water trucks, 4 graders, dump truck, backhoe, another state truck that picks up your garden waste. There's a total of 38 vehicles owned by your HOA. And you can see that your HOA is operating like a little city, and the expenses never seem to go down. We all know what's happened to the gasoline and diesel rates this past year. That, of course, we didn't budget for last year. Who knew? Currently, there are 2 graders down. Out of our 4 graders, people say, oh, gee, my road isn't done yet. There's 2 graders down with transmission problems. And so, talking to Ricardo the other day, it's like, when were you getting them? Well, we're in line, like everybody else. So hopefully, we'll get them back soon. There's a schedule. People always ask, well, how often is Saltito Road done? The electric road got done again. There's a schedule that those roads are done usually about 4 times a year, unless we get something like hay, which destroys a lot of the infrastructure. And so those main roads, regardless of the area, Hacienda del Sol, Visit Lamar, Buena del Sol, those main roads are the priority, along with requests for action. So somebody has a problem, and believe me, we got pages of requests for action this past month. Sales of new construction, this is a positive thing. Sales of new construction, to date there have been 17 permits for new homes. This compares to 15 for all of last year. When I say 17, that's up through September. So we don't have the numbers for October, November, December yet. And there is also, by the developer, 57, which Pat mentioned yesterday, 57 sales of new property, land. There's also been numerous resales of homes. So you can see that there's an increased interest in El Dorado. Now, the next thing I'm going to bring up, it could be a little controversial. I want to address a proposal that got started in 2013-14. There was a committee of residents, along with architect Ricardo Montano, that met with a group of residents here in the pavilion. This committee formulated a design that incorporated everybody's ideas in a community center. Now, I don't know all the legal ramifications and what is to be done. We're going to have to put it on the agenda next year and everything else, but I just wanted to throw this out to see, so far people I've talked to on the supervisor have talked to, they have a positive reception on it. I just wanted to see if there's an interest in resurrecting this whole idea. I will put some of the drawings on the El Dorado on the website, so you can see we don't have drawings of every building. There's drawings of a couple of them. And also there's 8 pages of what each building would consist of. The main building in the center has an activities building. Let's see if I can. Put it the other way. This is in the existing area that is a part of El Dorado Ranch where we're paying taxes. from where the existing activities room is to back to the tennis courts, that whole area. So the building right here in the middle is over a 5,000 square foot. The front of it is, like for activities, the back is a hardwood floor for yoga and exercises. On the left-hand side over here, that is a arts and crafts and activity room where different things, even possible electrical put in, outfitted for a kiln for crafting. And then this large building over here, another more than 5,000 square foot building with partitions. So we could have a group meeting like this with all the partitions down, or partitioned off for smaller meetings. Overall, current cost estimate is about $2 million. Probably going forward, of course, going forward, there's going to have to be an assessment. Looking at this in a build out over a few years, I was thinking something about $600 with $200 a year for 3 years to cover it. We also would have to allocate some funds first up to do working drawings to come up with this whole thing. This includes a jogging track around the whole area, solar panels. I mean, there's a whole big thing that you can see if you want to go to the website once I get it posted. Also, Martha's sitting here, I would address having the same assessment, the La Ventana, if they're going to use the facility. So can I see a show of hands? How many people like the idea? How many people want to bury it and say, forget it, move on, keep our little...
Sounds great.
All right, thank you.
Why can't we use the pavilion more?
Why can't we use the pavilion more often? Well, I'm always getting comments that, I understand, Gene. We're getting comments saying, why are we letting outsiders use the facilities? Well, pavilion is not owned by the HOA. We can't control what goes on here at all. So like the yoga this morning, that's open to anybody. But yet we're getting emails this week, once the yoga schedule is posted, why are we letting outside people in? Well, it was a developers. It has nothing to do with the HOA or the activities people. That if we have our own facility, exercise equipment and everything else over there, I get emails once in a while saying, do you have exercise equipment? Yeah, we're coming down for 6 months. No, but we can go to Squat's Gym or a couple other places in town. So we can develop our own system here. I mean, we can do one of two things like Philip brought up. Do we just circle the wagons and just keep our own little group right here? Or do we expand the facility and try to bring more people here? And not worry about the eroding dues every year. Last year, when I first came down here, we were looking at dues over 4,000 paid members. Last year it was $31.89. This year it's $31 in our budget. So do we keep, what Phil calls, circling the wagons? Or do we make things more interesting to get more people involved? You know, we had 57 people came down and bought property here just because of the sign and the new sales office on the road. They came down and looked and like, they saw it, even with the dilapidated condos over there. To sum it up, your supervisors take a genuine interest in your HOA and are working hard on your behalf. There's several ways to contact and work through the HOA, and they are all on the site map of the HOA website. One is Ask a Supervisor. If you have a question That question goes to Philip, Ed, myself, and Roberto. If necessary, we all get together and come up with an answer. If it's just a simple answer saying, you know, do I still have no electric in my lot in Buena Vista, I can answer that without any problem. I usually go out and take pictures of their lot and show them what their neighbors are doing and having solar. The other way to work with your HOA and the administration is a request for action, as I mentioned, for roads. Request for action not only for roads, garden debris picked up. Please don't put your garden debris around the dumpsters. They're not going to pick it up. Or in the dumpsters. They're not going to pick it up. That's why we've got the ecology department that'll pick up all your garden waste. Any other maintenance issues with the ranch? We get requests for action saying, you know, this ladder's loose at the pool. Well, maintenance most of the time are only aware of it, but we appreciate your interest and, you know, concern. Ask an administrator. That doesn't go to anybody but Roberto right there. So if you have a question in confidence, you don't want anybody else to know about it, then he gets it. And then he will forward it on or take action as needed to whoever party is concerned. There's also in the site map violation report for rules and regulations. If you see a violation on the ranch that bothers you, this goes to Ricardo Montano, and then he will investigate it with the committee and follow through with letters or whatever is needed. Sometimes it's just a matter of seeing them and talking to the people. And just remember, and I've said this every time I've been up here, posting a complaint, comment, question, gripe, bitch, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook does not solve your problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dick. I think so. It was a very interesting, thoroughly informed report from our Supervisors Committee. Okay, next I am going to present the expense and budget of 2023 and 2022 comparison. After that, we will vote for the budget, and while the budget votes are counted, I will make the slide presentation. So I'm going to do the budget. Okay, this was the town hall from February, June, and September meeting slideshows. So we put the three compressed so we don't take more of your time. All of these presentations are on the web page, so if you want to see them, look at them in detail, you can go to the web page and see all of them, please. Okay, this is the water leak repair at Cachanilla Pool. We have a big one. We have to dug in, replace everything that was necessary, and it's done. Next, please. Desalination of calcium barrier at Hacienda del Sol and Paseo del Sol entrances. This was not a permitted turn to go into Hacienda del Sol and Paseo del Sol. This was requested by the Highway Patrol because there was, they were giving fines to the people who did this. The people complained and we complained to them, and they say, well, then put a barrier so that people doesn't turn when it is not permitted. So we are preventing accidents. That's what we are doing. So we say, okay, we have to clear you too, so we will put the barrier. Next, please. Red Deer added on Calle Gaviota and Pato Zorro, on Los Verdes Sur, 294 cubic meters. This was done in February. Next, please. Security trench was excavated from the gas station to storage area at Camino Nuevo Gate. You can see it when you go in out of Saltito Road to the right. Next, please. Stop sign installed at Hacienda del Sol entrance. Next, please. New wind screens installation at tennis court number 4. We have ordered another 2. They have been in order for 6 months, but the chain of supply is terrible, so we are still waiting for them. Next, please. International 2005 water truck tank repair and painting. We do it thoroughly so we can have our trucks longer alive. Next, please. New peaks for the backhoe bucket. Next, please. Backhoe hydraulic piston repair. Next. New chainsaw and impact tool. Juanito was very happy. Next, please. 2007 Kenworth water truck chassis repair and cables. Like I say, we do it thoroughly. So when we ended with them, they are very, very, very neat. Next, please. Los Viajeros South and Los Médanos North and Transign painted. This we have to do it cycling, by cycle, so it's done. Next, please. Kenworth 2007 water truck diesel tank repair. You can see that it was broken, and we make a big repair here to make it last longer. Next, please. At the Cachanilla bathrooms and library general repair. This was done, and we have a brand new roof in the bathrooms and the library. It was a long time request from the owners. Finally, we did it. Now the people who is using the tennis courts can use these facilities instead of having to go all the way to the pool. And that gives more space for everybody. Next, please. Los Verdes Northern Transplanter repaired and painted. Next, please. New signs on new lateral road access to Hacienda del Sol Gate. Next, please. Cachanilla new pool covers. We already ordered new ones because these ones the sun already hit them out. Next, please. Roof repair at Cachanilla maintenance building. All the area was done. Next. 20 new speed signs, 10 Saltito Road, 4 electric roads, 6 Hacienda del Sol. We have many of these ones, so it seems that we are never going to end doing them, but we are doing it. Next, please. New attitude charger for the mechanic workshop. Next. New Kenworth 2010 water truck for roads maintenance. Next, please. 4 new tires for pickup F250 maintenance. Next, please. New signs were installed at the trash containers. This is what Dick mentioned. Please don't put construction waste, branches, yard debris, grass clipping, etc. No, it's okay. 4 new shelves were made for the Cachanilla Library. I can mention, and I want to thank the people who is in charge of the library and the volunteers that are helping this person, because they are doing a great job. It looks better and better and better. Next, please. We have to make a new seepage pit for Cachanilla hot tub shower. It was very deteriorated, so we have to dig down and make it new. Next, please. Red Deer was placed on the community streets, La Ventana Norte 1, 742 cubic meters. Los Verdes Norte 1, 630 cubic meters. Los Médanos Sur 1, 168 cubic meters. Los Verdes Sur 1, 336 cubic meters. Thank you to the hurricane. We lost a lot of this red dirt. Next, please. Personal best transmission oil pump repair. Next. Construction of 2 new trash containers beside the dog park. At the town hall, when I presented this, I mentioned that this was done because the old one, we have one like this, but the second one was just without the wall. and the people was abusing them, putting everything down in the floor. So the residents next to those original places were cleaning the area constantly, and they really get tired and talk to me. Like Dick said, send me a request for the administrator, and we decided to make these new places, and they are working. They are located next to the guard entrance, so the guard can have a look at it and say, you cannot do that, sorry, take it back to your house. So right now it's a lot cleaner, and the owners that claim for that are happy. Next, please. Automatic irrigation system installed for the vegetation at Cachanilla pools. With this, we are saving water. This is automatic, so it's very good. Next, please. Water crossing channel, Redon and Saltito Road, and the activities office and trams. These we prevent rains this year, so we did this, and it worked very well. If this has not been, maybe we will have a lot more trouble in Saltito and Trans, and there will be more trouble for the gas station, etc. So this worked very, very well. Next, please. Trash container repair in Paseo del Sol community. Sometimes this was done by the truck from the trash company. They hit the wall. They repair it, but we help them out. Next, please. Jardinera repaired and painted at Paseo del Sol security gate. Next, please. 8 traffic signs were made for security use. We were buying a lot of cones and vertical signs, so we decided to make some of them metallic. They last longer, and we can put them reflecting, so we can use them for years, and we are not spending as much as before. Next, please. We take this year to the personnel of maintenance and security took a 2-day CPR and AED seminar, and they were 20 people in each seminar. I can tell you that we are always concerned about the safety of our residents, and we do this. These are trained people from Mexicali. We have a company that provides the service, and they came and gave the seminar to our people. Next, please. A dredge was made to raise footprint tracks on the security perimeter. We learned this from the Border Patrol in California and Arizona. So we do it regularly when the people come see. They are detected by our infrared system, but we can see the tracks in the floor. So we go to the infrared system signal location, and then we see the tracks, and we can follow them immediately. We don't have to start looking for them. Next, please. New water pump for Paseo del Sol security gate. Next, please. Cachanilla new pool pergola remodeled for extra shade. This was something that some of our residents start doing wrongly, but we talk with them and say, don't do it, just let us know, we will do it. Remember that when we make the pergolas, you say us to stop because you don't like how ugly they were all coming out in the end, too many of them, so we stop, and then they say, we don't have enough. Well, we have to make another ones, but we will budget for them. Next, please. 4 new tires for the jail personal gas. Next. Grinder electric circular saw, drill, and general tools for maintenance. Next, please. Recycling containers at the security office repaired and painted. Next, please. Reflective posts installed at the Red to Vista del Mar community. We lose them, many of them too, with the hurricane. Next, please. Activities. New activities, portable outdoor speaker. Next. Repair Toyota Tacoma 2006 cooling system boost replacement. Next. A new Blu-ray players for movie nights. Next. Sport equipment for activities department. Volleyball. Next. Multi-purpose microphone for outdoor activities. I am using one of them right now. Next. Security. Very important. Headphone sets, photographic camera, infrared system batteries, and drill bit set. All of this is to maintain the equipment well. Next, please. New surveillance system cameras installed at the White Gate. This is at the end of Saltito Road. Is the most away from anywhere in the town, I mean in the trench. So we put new surveillance system so we can see who comes out, who comes in at any time. Next, please. 2010 Ranger pickup new tires, 4. Next. Full containers for security fuel reserve. We have to have always a reserve of fuel because, like in the last year that we were having gasoline shortage and diesel shortage, we never suffered. We always have a reserve so we can keep patrolling, we can do our work. Next. New Toyota Tacoma 2014 pickup for security department. Next. 5 new radios. Next. 2 hand lamps for security vehicles. Next. 4 new tires for Toyota Tacoma 2015 pickup. Next. Infrared system repair tools. This is for the 2-person team that make the infrared system work at all times. Next. Accessory for radio repairs. Next. This is the security personnel taking the CPR and AED seminar. Next. New uniforms for security departments. Now they look fancy.